Alright, what's up YouTube? It's Yugioh here. I have a Magistus deck profile finally updating for the new year for the amazing build that I've been working for a while now on. It's almost completely different than how I've previously been operating Magistus, so hope you like it. I am running 42 cards in the main deck, so it's definitely something new and interesting, really. For those of you guys that don't know, I do stream on Twitch, so catch me on twitch.tv/it's Yugioh. You can look at the description to watch all of my remote duels and all of that other jazz. Okay, so let's just go dive in right to the deck profile. So we'll start with the Magistus monsters. I run a pretty simple Magistus engine. So I run 3 Endymion, the Magistus of Mastery. This is your number 1 searcher. You go into Toad, you go into this is the way you can cycle out bricks. It's just really solid. So I basically run the maxed of 3 Endymions. Here's the 2 ofs right now that I run for the Magistus engine. I run 2 Zoruras. I feel like 3 may be too much, especially in the way and the playstyle that I'm working with. And you'll see later that it's because I play Magician Souls. So Zorua at 2 I think is fine because I also am able to search it as well. So I can go more into details later. I also run 2 Crowleys. These Crowleys, they're set at 2 I think because I run Illusion of Chaos and being able to rotate out the bricks. And if I keep Illusion of Chaos, that's an immediate spellcaster discard fodder that I can use for Crowley. And then the 1 really under the Magistus of Ver, I have always been kind of iffy on this card. It's not strong enough where I'd want it as a starter for a normal summon. So I think having it as at 1 is comfortable enough where I think it's going to, be okay for me. So that's it for just the Magistus monsters. We're running what is that? 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 8, 8 monsters. So this is the new engine that I started running, which is Magician Souls. It's an insane card. I used to run the Performage package. However, Magician Souls with the new addition to Illusion of Chaos allows you to be able to special summon this because you're using Endymion or Zorua to equip. You can send those equipped cards to the grave to draw. So instead of having to cycle out with Endymion, now you can just get that straight draw. So it allows you to have more resources in hand, and also just being able to dump dead spells and traps in or mainly spells in your hand. So paired with Magician Souls, I run 2 Illusion of Chaos, and this is again, you'll see I also run 2 Preparation of Rites to be able to search the Illusion of Chaos, but this also helps me be able to rotate out the bricks as well as get to my Magician Souls. So that's it for the Souls package. I obviously run bricks. I run 1 Celestial, 1 Dasher because I still run the DPE package. I tried Dragoon for the longest time with Secret Village of the Spellcasters in the extra deck, or the side deck, and it just was not strong enough, and DPE is just so strong in the recursion of it. So I definitely think Celestial and Dasher is the way to go on that. Now for the hand traps. I spent a lot of time thinking of how I want to design the hand traps. So I started running, the minimum, 6 or 8. And then I realized that I need to see hand traps to be able to survive. Because if I don't, I really have no other option because they have too many options to get rid of my normal summon or any of that. So what I currently run is I run 3 Ash Blossoms, just standard, really good. And then most of the rest I run as 2 ofs, and you'll see why, because I run a Crossout Designator in my extra or in my main deck. So I'm running 2 Ghost Ogres. Ghost Ogres are a really big problem card in the format right now, and I feel that when I get Ghost Ogred on my Endymion or my Zorua, like, first I don't even get to the equipped, and I am basically screwed. So I run Ghost Ogre, 1 because it's amazing against the Brave engine, but 2 because it is something I can use with Crossout to get rid of those pesky Ghost Ogres that is running rampant in the format right now. Another card, because I'm now running Preps, Magician Souls, and Illusion of Chaos, it's really important that I also have Crossout targets for Droll and Lockbird. Obviously, this card is just really strong as a spellcaster, so it's also discard fodder for Crowley. However, Droll is just an amazing card right now to, again, combat against the Brave engine, and I just personally think that this, Droll and Blockbird is just a solid card. Also, you can, you normal summon at the worst case scenario to get into Artemis. And then I run also 2 effect failures. This is primarily used due to Halka Fibrax going into Selene and then to Access Code. Otherwise, I wouldn't be using effect failures. So it's just something that I have to run for that. And you can't run it at 1 because if you draw it, then it's basically null with Hulk. And then I have to run it at 2 because also Crossout Designator is helpful for that too. Then last, I run 2 Infinite Impermanence. And again, this is the same thing with Crossout Designator. It's just very, very helpful. And that's basically all for the monsters and then the hand traps. This is 11 hand traps that I run. So on to the spells. I am running a very small Magistus spell package. So I'm only running 2 Tri-Magistus and 1 Vitra. I thought really hard on running 3 Tri-Magistus and any more Vitra or even Monster Reborn. And I realized that Tri-Magistus is I expend so many resources in the very, very beginning that it's important that I don't draw into deck cards. And I thought like, maybe I can use Tri-Magistus to discard for Magician's Souls. But then I realized that, I'd rather just have a second hand trap or an additional hand trap than to get bricked with Tri-Magistus. So because my Magistus engine is also kind of small, I don't think it's as necessary, and I'm only running 1 searcher for the Magistus Speller traps, so I think that, this ratio is probably fine. So that's it for the Magistus spells. Then we go with our generic searchers. So we have, I say generic, but we have 3 Spell Power Masteries. These searchers I just realized that you have to max out. You need to see Endymion. Endymion's your number 1 starter, and it's super important that you guys have that. So I'm maxing out Spell Power Mastery while I'm only running 2 Preparation of Rites. I like seeing the card to get into the Souls engine, but what's more important is getting into the Magistus engine. So Spell Power Mastery at 3 and Preparation Rites at 2, I think is a comfortable ratio for searchers. Then you kind of run your standards. I run 2 Fusion Destinies, maxed out on Fusion Destinies, just a really strong card to bring out DPE. I run 3 Forbidden Droplets. Again, this card is just so crazy not to run. It's the only thing that can really help solve against strong turn 1 plays, and Droplet is just Droplet. You have to run it. So I run 3 of those. I also run 3 Crossout Designator. I think Crossout Designator is such an amazing card for people that run a lot of gas cards, and people that are so vulnerable to hand traps. And I think Magistus is very vulnerable. So having Crossout Designator also allows when you're going first in game 2 and they side in Nibiru or they side in any side deck cards, and that Crossout will protect you, because I'm running Nibiru in my side deck to allow Crossout Designator to be useful in that scenario. So I run 3 Crossout Designator, and the final one I have is Called by the Grave, and that one's a little bit more self-explanatory. So that's it for the monsters, spells, and traps. We'll go to the extra deck. So I run a extremely small Magistus engine. A lot of people are running Iwas, Varam, Calamity, and all those great cards. However, I just don't see them as consistent as a utility card. So what I'm running right now is 2 Artemis. I think everyone's been pretty consistent with running 2 Artemis, except the only other Magistus cards I'm running is 1 Nina Ruru and 1 Ruliona, the Wondrous Magistus Witch Wardrobe, and that's it. That's the only Magistus extra deck cards that I run, and it's primarily used as the send fodder for Magician's Soul, and it's also used just to search whatever I need, pop or spell or trap whatever I need, and then negate a monster effect. So really just sticking it to the utility use of the archetype. So then moving on to your kind of standard shenanigans that you go into with Endymion and Zora, which is Bahamut Shark, totally awesome, and then Borload Savage Dragon, again, very, very standard for Magistus. I run this particular engine because it's so strong, and I think having 4 materials is extremely important. So I'm running the Zodiac Chakanine, Borbo, and Zeus for me to be able to send cards, because cards that can't be destroyed by card effects really are tough, because not a lot of my monsters are high attack. So the Zeus is obviously bypassing the can't be destroyed by card effects gimmick. So I think Zeus is extremely valuable, and having 4 materials Zeus is, obviously we understand against Zodiac how problematic it is. So I think it's equally as problematic when you're facing against it. So then I am running Anaconda and Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. Again, very standard. DPE is just really strong this format, and hoping that the next ban list doesn't hit Anaconda. But I think that these 2 cards are obviously a mainstay in the deck. Alright, and finally, to round off is 1 Haka Fibrax, 1 Selene, and 1 Axis Code. And essentially these cards will help your OTK pushes. This helps really push for game and really gets that last bit of push to close out your matches. So that is the extra deck. I'll kind of go through my side deck and have some initial thoughts of how I've been running in locals and kind of how I've been running in matches in general. So I run 3 Artifact Lancias in my side deck. Lancia is just really strong this format. It's good against the Brave Engine. It's good against PKs. It's good against a lot of different archetypes. So I think Lancia is really good as a mainstay. I recently started side decking Nibiru as well. There's just some particular decks like even Dragon Link and some of the other decks that I think having Nibiru is very helpful for, and even going against it. Again, these are cross out targets that and it came up a lot where I would just Tekken 1 Nibiru in my deck when I'm going first, and I'll be able to cross it at Nibiru, and by then it's now a deck card in their hand. Just for like kind of the more control decks, I guess I run 3 Cosmic Cyclones. Cosmic Cyclone is really strong. It's good against Eldritch, and I actually recently won against a Sky Striker match because I banished one of their spells that would have been problematic for me. So Cosmic Cyclone was really good. Again, against the control matchup and just going second in general, evenly matched, very, very strong side deck card. Wouldn't be playing side decks without it. And then here's another card that right now is kind of a flex. I'm still trying it out to see, but I'm also running 3 Dimensional Barrier. There's just some decks that get really shut down when you prevent Exceed, Fusion, Synchros, Exceeds. I think this card is going to be extremely good against the new, Despia branded Fusion sort of style deck. So calling Fusion is going to be extremely important for this. So that's why I have D-Barrier. So it's kind of prepping for that coming up soon here. All right, well, that is the end of my deck profile video for Magistus. I hope you guys enjoy it. I've been playtesting this a lot, and transparently, I love this deck. You guys all know how passionate I am with Magistus. I think hopefully I can give you guys some good gameplay coming up here. But that's basically it. Again, catch me guys on Twitch. I'm trying to stream regularly on weekends. And check out the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Global League, where we're doing ranked TCG remote duels. So at the end you'll be able to win prizing after the season ends. So check it out. It'll also be in the description down below. Comment, like, and subscribe. Peace.